What's up, guys? Welcome to Beyond Limitless podcast, where we will be taking you beyond the surface of bodybuilding, fitness, and life itself. I'm your host, Taylor Moore, alongside my co-hosts slash assistant coaches, Jarrett and Parker. Each week, we're bringing you real, unfiltered conversations about everything from competition prep and training to our personal journeys and the stories that shaped us. No holes barred, no topics off limits, Beyond Limitless. We hope you enjoy the show. Get it?
Hey,
We
F1.
live, baby.
Live, we live. All right, boys. Well, I guess we can start off with I was thinking just start off with, who we are, how we got together, how we know each other, how we got into bodybuilding, how we got into
Some
all of it. I
intros.
mean, it all kind of starts with the same origin.
Yeah. Jarrett.
Let's start. No, let's start with this. Parker, how'd you get into bodybuilding?
Hmm. I've been training for like
This ain't formal, bro. Just act like you're
obviously
talking.
8. Yeah, I've just been training for so damn
About
long,
50
like
years,
eight
Miller.
years. And then I got your ass in the gym to begin with, Taylor. And yeah, honestly, I might backtrack a little bit and go through the whole history just to
Do
know,
it.
just so people know. Um, but I joined the Marine Corps in like 2018, and then like 20 when I started. What year was it? 2020?
Mhm. No,
I think it
2021.
was 2020. Yeah,
I competed
yeah,
beginning of 2021.
2021. Yeah. So like the whole year of 2020, I was just like this drunk fucking going to parties and fighting and just I went through like this mental ass fucking depression state where I just didn't want to be here. And then you had reached out to me and told me that you were starting coaching.
Mhm.
So, and I was like, nah, I don't know about all that. But then I went through with it. And then honestly, bro, like starting bodybuilding was like the best thing that ever fucking happened to me. Mentally, physically, emotionally. But so yeah, now I've been bodybuilding for what, three and a half years now?
3.5, yep. Well, yeah, about to be four
Yeah,
years.
3. Yeah.
Um, Jarrett, I mean, I guess we could just start by telling them like the very beginning of it, because like
Yes.
bodybuilding kind of led to Parker's, which then kind of led to Jarrett's in a sense.
Ah,
Yeah, would you agree?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
so
that is
like
true.
I
for sure.
started in 2021. Well, I started my first prep in 2020. I started my first prep 2020, I believe. And I was going to school at Virginia Tech. Um, we I was partying every weekend. Jared, I think didn't you and I meet like and we didn't know it at AGR?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
so we met at like a
when
fraternity
I was
house.
still wrestling before
Yeah,
tots
so
and all
Jarrett was wrestling for Virginia Tech at the time. So I started prep right about the time I oh, no, yeah, so I started prep in fall of 2020. Um, Not a good prep whatsoever. I guess you could say coach, he might watch this, whatever, I don't care. I guess you could say coach was helping me through my show or I guess I'm gonna be real, lack thereof helping me through my show. And I ended up just learning so much about bodybuilding throughout that prep because I just engulfed my entire life in it. And to the point Parker and them used to be like, bro, don't you watch anything besides bodybuilding? Like it was just like YouTube all the time, bodybuilding, bodybuilding, bodybuilding.
Bro.
And then so I just learned and learned and learned. I did my first show in March of 2021. Uh I just continued on. Um Shortly after my prep, I started working at Tots, the one and only. Um,
top of the
and
stairs.
top of the
Top of the stairs.
Blacksburg, Virginia. If you haven't been there, you should go. Maybe we can get them to sponsor this podcast. Um, uh, but then after that, um, started working at Tots. that'll come back around in a second why that matters. Parker was my first athlete. He came to me and told me that he wanted to do a show in fall of 2020. So I was like, look, bro, I can't promise you anything, but I can, we'll try. And then we
He's
ended
like,
up
I could fuck
going,
this up.
huh? Yeah, no,
Said
no,
you were like,
for
I
real.
could fuck this up, and you would
Yeah,
come in looking like shit. Or
yeah. So we started prep. He ended up, we prepped for what, 6 weeks for that first show, Parker, and won his class in men's
Yeah.
physique. Lost the overall to Tom Cox, who then won the overall at nationals that year, in men's physique.
damn,
And yeah, so backstage at his show, people were just like, "Wow, you guys have so much potential." Blah 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 blah. We prepped for like 3 more weeks and went to nationals. We probably had no business doing that, but we did, and we actually asked for
Yeah.
we asked
Shout
for
out to shout.
yeah, we asked for tickets to fly to net because we were both broke and had no money. So we asked for tickets to fly to nationals in Florida. Um, or we didn't even end up flying, did we? Or you flew? Yeah, you
Yeah,
flew.
I
I rode with
flew.
Mike
I
White.
think we both flew, didn't we? Oh yeah, yeah.
I rode with Mike White. But then we asked. I think the Airbnb was we asked for that for Christmas presents from our parents to pay our way for the show, and we went there, got second call outs in men's physique, and then I just started posting, Parker's transformation and my training and stuff like that on social media, and people, it kind of just grew from there. Um, so, we continued on with it. Not long after that, Jarrett started working at Tots with me. Um, that was my sidekick while we were bouncing. For those of you who don't know, Tots is a bar in our college town, and me and Jarrett used to, I guess you could say, wreak havoc. We
I don't like that.
yeah, we were bouncers and we used to have a lot of fun. And yeah, so at the time when I met Jarrett, he was wrestling for Virginia Tech. Um and just kind of getting out of it in a sense. And then ended up tearing your pec, right?
Yeah, this one
Yep. And
because of
then
wrestling.
yeah, because of wrestling, and then not long after that, he stopped wrestling. We started training together. And then Jared just kind of dove headfirst into bodybuilding as well. And yeah, so that's what's got us here. I guess we can continue on with the rest of it, but Jared, go ahead, tell your story a little bit.
Pretty much met.
Hey, while you tell your story, I'm gonna grab my computer charger too.
Yeah,
All right.
I can still hear you though.
pretty much when me and Timo met at Todd's, started working there. I think it was like 2021.
Yeah.
So it was
The
like a
end. It was like
year.
September. It was like right after Parker's national show.
Yeah. So still like
Yeah.
new coach, somewhat like on the scene and just getting clients, learning and all that stuff. So you coached me for free for I think a few months
Mhm.
and just put me on a meal plan, put me on a training plan, and then we would obviously train together because our schedules are like the exact same. And that kind of just blew up into me bodybuilding like full time, living like a pro bodybuilder, if you will. And then things kind of sort of like, I guess you can say they elevated. And I went to Kenley Adams for a coach. I got with him November 2022. And ever since then, I've just been locked in
Yep.
as best as I can be at times. But it's been a fun journey, bro. I love
Yeah,
bodybuilding.
it has.
Learning all along the way too from him and y'all. Just his experience. It's been tough. It's a
For
fun
sure.
sport.
think I met you when I was fucking miserable as fuck.
When did we meet?
When he was bouncing at Tots too.
I think it was
Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah, because I was in prep.
I forgot that you bounced there for like a couple weeks or something.
Yeah. And I just couldn't fucking take it no more, bro. It was like too many drunks all in one spot.
Oh
I was just like,
my gosh, bro.
I just
That
want to punch them all in the mouth.
it it was so bad. Like
Jared,
drunk college kids, the things they would do and say, I'm like, oh, like if
No, yeah,
this,
like no fucks given.
I'm, I'm like, yo, this is just wild.
So, Jared, should we talk about bodybuilding while we were at Tots, or should we talk about Tots?
Well, we could do both, but honestly, like,
Tap into tots
just
a little
imagine
bit.
being a 21-year-old kid and like you know everybody because Tots is like the bar in Blacksburg,
Yeah, and
and you
Blacksburg is
just
a small town for those who don't know. Like it's like the
yeah,
college and then the town surrounds the college. Like if there was no college, there would be no town.
like I was literally just going to class, going to work. I would eat meals every like 2 or 3 hours at work because we'd be there till like 4 a.m. and then I would just wake up and do it again, train, do the same shit.
It was crazy, bro, because we were like working till, football weekends, we would be working until 6, 7 a.m. We would get home at 8 a.m. and then have to be back at work on at 11 a.m.
I don't
It's
know
like
how I did that because
we
now
would
it's
sleep.
like bro, like
Bro,
9:30 rolls around. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
out.
if I don't get 8 hours of sleep now, I'm a wreck.
I'm done.
So it's like we used to, I mean, looking back now, we didn't have a choice because we were making really, I mean, to be 21-year-old college kids, we were making good money doing that.
I
Um,
want to stick. So,
Mhm. But looking back now, it's just like, bro, we were trying to be bodybuilders while getting 3 hours. We have no circadian rhythm whatsoever, bro.
yeah,
Because it was
like
like
it was
in
just
those weekends, and then we would sleep all day on Sunday. You'd be up half the night Sunday night because it's like into Monday morning, and then you have 8 a.m.s on Monday morning. It's like, how do we even do that, bro? How do we function?
like, how did I make progress during that
Yeah,
time? I don't
exactly.
have no idea.
It's like, yeah, but I mean, we did it too. I remember, dude, I remember some Saturdays being at Tots on like 2 hours of sleep. And when you don't sleep, you're just not hungry whatsoever.
Bro.
I was working with Matt Jansen at the time and I was eating so much food, dude. I just felt horrible all the time. And I would be sitting on the front steps at Tots trying to check people's IDs. And I would be trying to slam down bagels. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is miserable. So many
I would
times,
have
bro,
to cover this
I
dude
would
on
just be like,
door because he'd just like be like,
yes, bro. Yes, it would be horrible. So. But yeah, I mean, we made it work and made the best of it for sure. I mean, honestly though, at
good
Tots
times though.
we made a lot of good connections there, like each other for one. But like, I mean, dude,
Yeah,
I probably have 6 to 10 of my clients that I met at Tots, like
yeah,
easily.
that's true. Yeah,
Like I have quite a bit at Tots. I had this one girl was
that's
talking to me when I was
hilarious.
So
working.
that means just go to a bar and pick up clients.
Yeah, I mean,
Start handing out business cards at the door
yeah,
when you take the
yeah.
ID. Just slide
Um,
it back.
but yeah, Parker, tell us a little bit about your
The
journey
recent
and
show,
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that for sure. Like for
USA
one,
is coming.
yeah, walk us through your journey and then we'll get into kind of the now, like getting into bodybuilding, your experience, with working with me, like all of it. And you don't have to suck up because I'm here.
No, I'm not gonna suck. I'm gonna keep it straight up with you.
Again.
uh, but honestly, at first, like when you first started coaching me, I was always like iffy on, like you never coached anybody before and stuff like that. But I never knew how mind driven you were at such a young age because you were what, fucking 20 years old,
Yeah, I was 20.
19, right? 20,
I mean,
and I was just like,
that's because too you knew me in high school. You were the one that like got me. Like we completely when all of us when we started bodybuilding just like
yeah,
80'd our lives. Like
yes,
100% like just became new people.
yeah. I think we both had a lot of benefit for each other also too, because like, even when I was in prep and you were coaching me, it's like, remember when, we used to just wake up in the fucking morning and just bodybuilding, 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 like podcasts all fucking day. And like just literally every conversation was just fucking bodybuilding.
Yep.
And I was like, bro, we gotta stop that shit because I can't fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
I just can't. But no, bro. I was always iffy when you were coaching me at the very beginning of it because you never coached nobody, and it was always, does he know what he's doing? Blah blah blah. But after the first show and then after nationals, it was kind of like okay, let me just keep doing it, riding it out. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it put me in a better spot to begin with. You also pulled me out of a dark ass hole,
Hmm.
and I don't know. Every prep and every off season got better and better and better, and you got better as a coach and mentors and stuff like that. Like your knowledge became super powerful, and yeah, you're just really mind driven now. And honestly, looking back, bro, I'll even put names out there like that. I don't care. I remember at nationals in 2021 in Orlando when he was like, I had no clue who the fuck Cam Cheek was,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, bro, like that's the type, that's the the coach I want to be. And I was like, I don't even know who the fuck that is, but all right. But now that I know and I've been in this sport for so long, it's just,
It's
bro,
crazy. Yeah.
you're doing your fucking thing. I'll give you that.
for sure.
Appreciate it.
But
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like a switch flip for me, and it's just like I don't know. I spent like and two. I think a lot of people can learn from really what you just said about being questionable, like or questioning the process and like bro, you took a chance on me as a coach in a sense. I mean, at the end of the day, it was like no risk. Like you were just getting into it. So like, if you were a pro, you probably wouldn't have went with me. But like we went
yeah,
so many, and I put this in my post, after your overall, we went through so many like trials and tribulations along the way of like me learning how to coach, also you learning how to be an athlete. But we like just synchronize ourselves within that process. And it's, I mean, I don't want to speak too
yeah.
soon, but like July 26th, a lot of that is gonna
Uh,
like it
yeah,
just speaks for like people I don't know. Bodybuilding is such a pet peeve of mine. It's bodybuilding are they're so quick to leave their coach. Like now don't get me
yeah,
wrong, like I said, if you're a pro, things are going wrong, your life benefits on this, like okay, cool. But like if you're if you are an amateur and you're just doing your first show and you don't get the results you want with your first show with your first coach, unless they just downright did you dirty and like had no idea what they were doing and just like it just be loyal, man. Like
Bro, it
it's
takes
so
yeah,
so
bro. Like, stop leaving.
like it takes a long extended period of time for actual progress to
yes.
make to actually happen, not just for water and inflammation to come off and then you look bigger because you're lifting more
Yeah.
consistently, so you just more
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's like you have to stay with the coach for like at least not even 3 months, like at least 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like that coach to fully
hmm
know what your body can respond to and all that, and maybe even longer than that.
And I was gonna say, in the grand scheme of things, like look at bodybuilding as a whole. If you want to be successful in bodybuilding, you need to say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the next 10 years. So like if you're with a coach for 6 months out of those 10 years, like think about it. We've all been training for since we were 19, like we're 24, 25 now. I think we're all 24. Like that's 5 years and we're not even we're starting. We're just literally just getting started.
yeah.
Like I mean, Parker's like genetically what he is, but like he's still just getting started. We had this conversation the other day. It's like, bro, where you are now, like you're 24. When you're
34.
30 or 28 or 30, like and actually have a true 10 years of bodybuilding under your belt, dude, the top 5 at the Olympia is not even a question in my opinion. And maybe,
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
biased maybe, but like I don't know. It's just like so when you look at it like that in the grand scheme of it, it's like okay, you're banking on giving a coach 6 months to prove themselves. Like, come on now, you know? And that's
Also,
That's a good point.
also, I think the connection between the coach and the client definitely has a lot to fucking do with that too, obviously.
yeah, for sure.
Because me and your connection, obviously, yeah, we were best friends and you're also my coach, but our mindsets are the exact fucking same.
Yes, for sure.
Like, if I'm fucking locked in, I know damn well you're locked in. If you're locked in, I know damn well I'm locked in. You know what I mean? Like, we still have the same goal, and that's to make top five in the Olympia in the next couple of years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever.
That too, but also, like, the type of coach that it is. So, for instance, like, Kenley
Yeah.
has been showing me a lot about his prep and, like, everything that goes into it, his all of the sheets that Dom has him fill out, all of the data. And then there's guys like complete opposite of Dom, like Chris Aceto, that just do a one-word email.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think certain clients will go a lot farther in progression, whether it's 6 months to a year, if
Mhm.
it's the type of coach that meets their
Yes, for sure.
requirements, you
If
know?
you if you're someone who never communicates with your coach outside of check-ins, it's just like, boom, here's my pictures, here's my weight. And Chris Aceto, for example, cool, looking good, looking great, no changes. Like, I personally have never given anyone a response that was less than a paragraph. Like,
Yeah.
and if I do, it's just like a midweek check-in type of thing. But like, yeah, if you prefer those one-word answers, then you find people who groove with that. If you're a data-driven, and like Kinley, for example, has had both.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can speak for him.
And
I lately about like what
he's
he likes better, but
he kind of had like an old school mindset of
mhm,
like doing it like how he does it like with me and like
yeah,
most of his other clients. But then now that he's been with Dom, he's like, I kind of want to input this with some clients because he just likes it and he's kind of getting more
yeah,
data driven, just like you said, just from
for
actually
sure.
doing it himself.
And like for me, maybe it's just because of who I've been mentored by the whole time. I've changed my ways a little bit. I used to be way more OCD and stuff than I am now, but I think that also
Eat
comes
every
with
3 hours.
experience. What do you say?
I said, eat every 3 hours.
Yeah. I think that comes with experience though. Like I don't need to go in and fill out notes for every single check-in now. Like I used to do that. Every single check-in, like every athlete would have a notes tab, with their check-ins. I would send these long detailed responses. And like I don't think that that's necessary unless it benefits the coach or the athlete. Like if the athlete needs that, then sure, that's fine. But like with experience, I think you need less and less of that. Like, for example, Dom doesn't keep like he's very detailed, but he doesn't keep notes with anything because he has a photographic memory and he's the smartest human in the world and he can remember anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I don't it just yeah, I don't think that that's all necessary, but I do like I have always been very like analytical with my stuff. I like to see feedback. I like to see, good communication. Not over communication, but enough to know, okay, where not just like I send you a list of biofeedback questions and you say, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes. Like give me detail at the same time.
Yeah, and you made a good point, like with experience. For instance, with all my lifestyle clients, they all get a check-in form with like certain things that I need to know that they
Yeah,
probably wouldn't think to tell me.
exactly.
But for me today, I just sent my weight, blood pressure, fasted blood glucose,
Yeah.
and I didn't send anything else.
And it depends on your relationship with your coach as well. Like Parker, for example, I don't wanna say he's different, but the relationship's different because Parker has been my best friend. He's the one that got me into lifting, like, so I talk to him every day regardless, so I know how
Yeah,
things are going with him. He doesn't have to be as detailed with me in check-in as someone who I don't I'm not gonna say I don't know them because they are my client, like, I know them, but, like, if we've never met before, I don't talk to you on a daily basis, I talk to you once a week with your check-ins, then I need more information from you than someone like Parker who me and him will be talking on the phone every day and he's like, oh, I'm hungry today, I'm not hungry today. Like he can send me a very bland check-in, but I still know what's going on. If we don't have that level of communication, then
you
you
need it.
need to let your coach know what's going
Yeah,
on.
for sure.
um
How many weeks out are you, Parker? From
1,000.
U USA's, right?
What was it? 11 and a half weeks out now?
Yesterday was 12, so yeah,
Oh
just
yeah.
under 12.
12? Yeah, about 11 and a half, 12 weeks out. Yeah.
What's kind of the plan that was put?
I mean, hell, by the time we land in Vegas, it'll be fucking 11 weeks. So,
Yeah. The plan, oh yeah, so let's revert back. Parker just won his first overall. We talked about all the success that we've had together, and like, Parker's done great things. Everyone has known since Parker started bodybuilding that he just like some people have it. Parker just has it. Um, I don't know if Jerry, who James Ball is.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so James texted me like after the show last week, and he was just I had sent him pictures or whatever, and he was like, you just know when some people have it, and he has it. And I was like, that's a perfect way to put it. But like everyone's known that since he started bodybuilding, but it was just about like we said, that the time. No matter what, no matter in bodybuilding, no matter what you do, how many drugs you take, how much progress you make, time is the only thing that's going to and like that's something that Parker and I have learned, as well. But like he just needed time and we finally like let his body grow and reverting back to what I was saying is like we've had a lot of success. We've won shows, we've won classes, we've won classes at shows, we've been to nationals, gotten second call outs, first call outs at nationals in men's physique. But there was just more in the tank. And then after USA's in 2023, Sandy was just like, you're limiting
Let that
yourself.
boy grow.
Yeah, like you need to grow. So we did that. We took 2 years off. Again, time. Um, and then, well, I guess a year and a half. And then we came back and Parker just won his first overall last weekend.
This crazy
So
ass look too, bro.
yeah, crazy look. And it's even crazier knowing that like for USA's, and this is kind of leading into the question you asked of like what the plan is. So
Yeah.
we have to pull off 12 pounds from where he was on stage to USA's. Because he was
Yeah, bro. Like I weighed in at 211 with clothes on.
yeah.
Well, no, 212 with clothes on.
Yeah. And then so he was like 210-ish on stage after, he was
Yeah.
like fasted 208 that morning. And then we got to be 198 and a quarter or under 198 and a quarter for light
That's
heavies.
gonna be peeled as fuck.
Yeah, bro, peeled. Like, and we know that he probably has 4 to 5 more pounds of fat we could have pulled off from that, from the last stage look. But
What's your cardio at?
right now, 30 minutes,
5.
5 times a week. What it?
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't even 45 minutes was the highest you got up to, right?
40. Yeah, 45 minutes was the highest.
45.
Nice.
And still refeeding like every
But
5 days too,
yeah,
for the
and
most
there
part.
were a lot of other factors that we could have added in
Yeah,
to,
like, I mean,
you know,
we can be raw on
that
it.
we weren't even doing.
We can talk about it on here.
Yeah,
Drug wise, dude,
there were a lot of fucking,
nothing.
yeah.
Like 500 tests, 500 Masteron, 50 milligrams of Winstrol. And then the last 2 weeks we added in a little bit of Tren. When I say a little bit, like very little bit of Tren and some T3 and Clen.
Nice.
So our plan going forward is I'm kind of feeding him up a little bit right now. We don't want his weight to jump up. What was your weight this morning, Parker?
209.
Yeah, so like he the thing with Parker is too when drugs come in. So we pulled out drugs last week just to give his body a little break. And the thing is with him when drugs come in, he gets better and just doesn't lose weight. But we're just gonna try to keep that weight somewhere around 210 to 215 as we feed up over the next couple weeks. And then at like 9 weeks out, we're gonna start smacking the gas again. And we're actually getting lucky with the way weigh-ins are set up this year at USA's. It's basically Thursday morning at
Yes.
9 a.m. He gets to weigh in, and then he doesn't go on stage until Saturday morning. So
Holy shit.
yeah, so we have plenty of time to fill
Yes,
out.
bro. That's yeah.
And then also like weigh-ins at 9 a.m. when you have to make weight is amazing because you don't have to
Wake up.
suffer all day. Yeah, exactly. You just wake up and go.
That's
Um,
nice.
so yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull him back down and hopefully get that pro card, man.
That's gonna be tough, bro.
Yeah.
Tough.
I uh I was
Excited.
I was looking at the the winners from light heavies and kind of doing some comparisons and I I just don't see like unless somebody I know Jacoby has a guy that's coming that could be really good if he I mean Jacoby always gets people in shape, but if he gets in shape just because he was super soft for his qualifier. Not super soft, but he was pretty soft for his qualifier. Um he's good, but I mean, I don't Parker's just got that dry, grainy, like freak
Yes.
factor to him, and his shape is just ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah, so some posing adjustments too that we can make that we know are gonna help a lot. And then
Shout out to Chris.
yeah, Chris Barnett. If you guys are looking for a posing coach, Chris Barnett is the absolute best.
But those look night and day. Like those side by sides look night and day just from the posing
Yes.
fixes.
Yes, bro.
Look crazy.
He definitely fucking helped a shit ton, but I need a little bit of like fine tuning with, especially like my back shot and stuff. Because I feel like my back shot is good, but I feel like I could make it 100 times better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower half, including.
Um. So let's talk about us joining, like as a team, because honestly, we haven't even announced that Parker's an assistant coach yet. So
Oh, we have
I
not.
guess this is like a little formal
Uh,
or informal announcement. Um, let's talk about that a little bit. Jarrett, can you kind of give some background on like, how everything got started with us a couple months ago?
Yeah. Basically, you hit me up because certain things went down. Basically, Limitless Pursuit Coaching was just under your name now. And I, you saw like
Uh,
basically the past, what?
sorry to cut you off for a second. Just, Limitless being under my name now. So I was previously with Lacey. Shout
Yeah.
out to Lacey, bro. She won 5 overalls yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah, and the coaches and the Louisiana Coach of the Year award for the 4th year in a row. So shout out to Lacey.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, she's killing it, bro. I'm so like to have even been a part of a team, and everything like we just did what was best for us both. But like regardless, she's great. She's killing it, bro.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she's a savage.
Yeah,
That's
but
insane.
anyways, go ahead, Jarrett.
Um, so then, what was I saying? Oh, basically, you
Um,
saw me like marketing the past like 2-ish months, just like putting all my focus on pushing out stuff for my coaching business, Tronge Training.
Hmm.
And that's when you just had the idea because you just kind of know my mindset. It's basically the same as you and Parker. And then with all the business stuff that I've been learning the past year and a half from all that other side stuff away from fitness and online coaching, we just thought it would be a really good fit because I didn't really dive into the knowledge and mentorship side of things like you did. And then more experience than the average Joe just because of wrestling and bodybuilding for almost 3 years now, and then all the others training since I was like 15, basically. So
Hmm.
the learning that took place and that still is was more so on like the blood work side and the PED side and learning like the chemical stuff around bodybuilding.
Yep.
But then we just had like a very quick conversation and I was all about it. Um, so we got that locked in, and then I think it was like a few days ago we were talking, and I was like, having Parker join the team is fucking perfect
Yep.
because with how many shows you've done and all the experience you have just from that and being with Taylor this whole time and learning from him, and then you already have a big ass following that a lot of us don't. So a lot of people already see like, holy shit, this dude's jacked and ripped on stage, probably knows what he's doing. So let me hit up for coaching.
Yeah,
It was like,
for
let's
sure.
bring him on. That'd be tough.
And beyond that, like all of our everyone always says don't do business with friends. I kind of disagree in a sense. Um, it's just like we all think the same way, we act the same way. Like this podcast just coming out of us being coaches together is like I think it's gonna be amazing. So like,
Yeah, and like it doesn't matter if it's family or friends or even like your wife. I mean, like Fuad and his wife are in business with each other, and
yep.
they're arguably the number one in supplements and damn sure podcasts and everything else. Just because
Hmm.
he's been the most consistent with everything,
Yep.
like everything for like the past I don't even know how many years.
Yeah, bro. He's that was Fuad's podcast is where I learned so much when I first started. Like that got me into bodybuilding like the way I was. That was the podcast. I watched every single episode that he had of everything from
Bro,
like 3 times throughout my first prep.
And so many people and like certain people that I know too, like will shit on him. I don't know why. And I was at the Arnold, I think it was 2023, where I had been bodybuilding for like a year. I was still small as fuck.
Hmm.
And he was on the phone in the hotel lobby, and me and Nelson were just standing there. And I turned around and I just looked at him for a second. I was like, oh, what I at? And he saw that I took like a double take and says, hold on a second, gets off his phone, stands up, said, hey, what's up? My name's Fuad.
Yeah,
And shakes
that's
my hand, sits back down. I was like, damn.
and I think he's so like I think that's why he's had the success he's had is just because he's so raw and real, and that's like my goal with this podcast is just talk like we're just boys,
Yeah.
bro. Like it doesn't have to be formal, we don't have to talk educational shit all the time.
yeah.
We can be ourselves.
It's literally just for anybody to fucking
Yeah.
watch and like, doing cardio in the morning. Hey, let me pull up the fucking Beyond Limitless podcast.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, so that's how, you
All that
know,
came to be.
yeah. And I remember I was me and Grayson went to Miami, and I was like on the way down there and just looking at your stuff, and I was like, damn, bro, he's killing it with like the marketing and like, all of that stuff. And I was like, I wonder if he would want to talk about it and just like, I see if I could be a benefit to him as well, and him be one for me, and just go from there. And then so we got on a call while we were there, and just like, yeah, run with it.
Hell yeah.
And then Parker, obviously, honestly, this is super new, with Parker, but like, um, anyone who doesn't know, I guess Parker, you don't mind if I tell this, but like Parker's disabled from the Marine Corps, so he's basically been able to like support his bodybuilding and life and everything through that and through social media because he has a really big following on TikTok. So he's been able to do that. And then on the way to Parker's show last weekend, he got a sponsorship from Evogen. Um,
Bro, that was
yeah.
tough. Dude, when I saw that,
Code
I just like,
Code P Money.
is there?
Yeah, bro.
That's awesome, dude.
I was super super fucking excited for that.
I mean, you've literally been
That's like, bro.
like
Keep on.
consistently posting for, I don't even know, since like I was still like not even in bodybuilding. I was just like working out. I was like
Yep.
popping up every
Yeah,
day. Some Parker's gonna post. I already know it.
it's like it's also cool for me too because like obviously Taylor can vouch for this one because he's the one that tried to get me out of that mindset. But when I first started bodybuilding, bro, I was like looking at all these people that have sponsorships, shit like that, and I was like, damn, bro, it'd be nice to get sponsored by them, you know. But also like, you know, if you're in the sport for a fucking sponsorship, like you're in it for the wrong fucking reason. So honestly, my mind just drifted apart from that shit and just don't even worry about a fucking sponsorship. Just win, bro.
It
Literally.
just comes
That
when you're least expecting it to. I told Parker that's
Yeah.
been the number one, and we're always Parker knows this. I've told him this 100 times, but like the first couple years of him bodybuilding was just like, oh, I need to get my name out there. I need sponsorships. I need this. I need that. And I'm like,
Okay.
bro, just be a bodybuilder. Don't worry about all of that shit. And when the time comes, it's gonna happen. Like just keep putting in the work. The biggest thing that Parker and I have always said to each other is like, people don't know our name yet. The way you get people to know your name is win. Like literally just win. And that's in anything in life. It's not just bodybuilding. Like when you win, people fucking know you. If you're a businessman
Yeah,
who's
bro.
doing $1 million, people might not know you right now, but eventually if you provide some type of value to somebody, they're gonna know you. Like if you're consistent long enough, people are
Yeah.
going to know you.
but
You
the thing
can't
about
just
it is like falling in love with the process of
yes.
anything, especially with bodybuilding. Like I've been
Yeah, bro.
like actually bodybuilding, whether it was a TRT dose for a year straight or whether it was other shit, since like 2.5, 3 years come this fall,
Yep.
and I haven't stepped on stage once.
No.
It's because I already love the process,
Mhm.
but it's also like there's like a reality aspect to it,
Yep.
and especially with me being in the heavyweights, I'm not gonna step on stage just to fucking just do it and look like a tiny ass bitch.
Yep.
Like I
And
gotta grow.
Yeah.
It's what you
exactly.
gotta do.
Yep, and you can apply that to everything, bro. It's just like fall in love with the process and the rest is gonna come. So that's something that, I've been trying to tell Parker for so long. Is like, bro, stop worrying about the sponsorships. Just be a bodybuilder. And I promise you, one day
Or I
somebody
look
is
at it.
going to see you. They are going to see you. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's just a matter of when. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
it's a start to it now. So,
Especially if you have that. Yeah.
so
Especially if you have that strong mindset of knowing exactly what you want in life and where you want to go.
Yeah.
Anything can fucking happen. It's like you said, Jarrett, yesterday. Nothing worth doing is easy, but we're gonna do it.
mhm,
Sir.
exactly.
Very fucking true.
Very fucking true.
And yeah, so we were on the way to the show and Parker got a sponsorship and then, obviously the show went exactly how we wanted it to. And then we started, Parker's like, man, I really would like to make a career out of this or, make this my
Right.
thing, So I was like, hey, bro, I've been waiting on you to say the word. Like, just me being honest. And like I said, anything we say to each other on here, we would say to each other outside of that. But I was just waiting on
Yeah.
Parker to I've always had in the back of my mind that eventually it was gonna happen. I've never said this to Parker. Well, maybe I have once or twice, like back in the day. But always knew it was gonna happen, but Parker just had like a lot of, I wanted it to be on his like I wanted it to be on his terms, and I wanted him to be the one to have the idea, because if I tried to push it, he just had way too many things going on, way too many distractions and stuff like that and we all know what it takes to be a good coach. Like you have to devote everything to it.
Yeah,
And I was just waiting on that time for him to realize like, hey, this is what I want, and take it serious. At the end of the day, like, we're all representing ourselves for one, but we're all representing a brand, and it's like you have to you have to be ready, you know,
yeah, bro.
mentally and mentally, emotionally, maturely, like all of that stuff. So, and I knew like
Yeah,
once he said that, I knew Parker, once you said that to me last weekend, that it was like, I knew that that was the case now. And I've just been, obviously I've been paying attention, and just your mindset has flipped a lot, especially throughout this prep. Like,
yeah,
I'll be real, like your just your matureness and everything about your demeanor, everything has just 180.
yeah. And I want to talk about that too, honestly, because I almost made a story on my Instagram when you posted that picture of like our background of like me and your life kind of. Um, but I wanted to say it on the story. I just never posted it. I still have the video, but when you I do believe this prep definitely had a lot to do with like my mental and emotional, like just me as a person.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened, but going through this prep, I remember at the beginning of the prep, I actually texted Mike and I was like, "Hey, bro, I got a question." And I was like, "Do you think Taylor's locked into this prep?" And he was like, "I'm sure he is. Why?" And I was just like, I just want like that clarification." And he was like, "Well, he's your best friend, so just text him and ask him." So that's why I texted you and asked you if you were locked into this prep because I needed you to say that you were. Obviously, I knew that you were. I just needed to like read it
Knowing Taylor, he
because
probably wrote like a book
this,
back. He was
I
like,
did. I did.
yeah,
yes, yes.
I'm gonna read it.
So it was just like I just needed that clarification that that he says that he is locked in because we've done 4 preps together and I've never ever felt like this is my fucking time. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I just have a really good feeling about it all. So I just kind of like texted you about it, and then we talked about it. You told me that you were, and then everything just started clicking together, bro. It was just like I was mentally in such a good fucking spot, and I still am. And
Just
yeah,
right down
I
with you.
just everything aligned perfectly.
Keep it there.
I said, he texted me and said, "You're fully locked into this prep, right?" And I said, "What you mean, fool? Duh." I thought he was joking at first, and then I was like, "I've never been this excited about a prep before in my life." He was like, "Okay, bet, just checking." And I said, "Why are you asking a dumb question like that, LOL?" He said, "I just feel like you got a lot going on, so I just want to know you're fully invested." And I said, "Yeah, bro, of course I am. Everything I have going on revolves around this and coaching in general. I'm just trying to make a good living off of it and take the steps necessary to be successful with it all. But even if I were to completely quit coaching and had everything else in the world going on, I'm still going to coach you with my full effort and coach you in general until we get to the Olympia and reach the goals that we set out for since we started. That's never changed, never will. You don't have to question my focus with it, no matter how much or how little of my life revolves around anything bodybuilding specifically." So, yeah, it's like, I had to. I mean, and
I
that's the
knew
truth,
that
bro.
was coming too.
It's like Parker's loyalty to me as a coach, because I'm sure, like, I can speak for Parker. He doesn't even have to say it. There's been times where he was probably like, "Dude, I could probably go hire anyone else and probably, you know, a big name coach, and that, maybe he could have been where he is right now a year ago. Could he? Yeah, maybe. But like at the same time, his loyalty to me through it all, like as I'm growing as a coach, and I would say like not I don't ever want to sound arrogant, but like I've grown pretty fast as a coach. My knowledge and like the amount of money I've invested into being better, and like most people aren't full-time coaches at 20. I mean, I started full-time at like 22. Like that usually doesn't happen, but like his loyalty to me is like, regardless, if I stop coaching today, I'm gonna keep coaching him until we reach the goals that we set out to reach. Like unless I knew, and I told I think I was talking to Grayson about it when you texted me, and I told her, I was like, I like the goals that we set out. Like if I thought that it was gonna be like beneficial for you to go to someone else and you were gonna get more out of it, and like I got to a point of like, okay, my knowledge points capped off in order for you to get to where, my potential as a coach is capped compared to your potential as an athlete, then I would be the one to say, hey, bro, I think you should go, do this or do that. And I would 100% admit to that. But like, I know the potential that you and I both have together throughout this whole thing. And that's when like, yeah. So I would coach you until like absolutely just couldn't, or we won the Olympia with
Yeah,
what we're going to do. So,
yeah, yeah. And that's gonna be a fucking story,
yeah, bro, it's going to be dope.
especially if anybody has been following like our
Yeah,
journey with us together.
for sure.
Yes, it's gonna be.
Um, So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we are. You wanna, Jarrett, I know you said, you're still growing and everything like that. As far as, do you have plans picked out for shows or anything?
Not any picked out shows, but definitely gonna step on stage spring 26,
Yeah.
some next season.
How much do you weigh right now, Jarrett?
This morning I was 267 on the dot. So yeah, bro,
Damn, bro.
we started this push, bro. So thing about this last 6 weeks is I have never gone above 500 tests or 500 anything for that matter. So this time, 6 weeks ago, we started at 600 tests and like 60 trend. So basically doing trend in the off season, just to see how my body reacts to it without doing it the first time in like an actual prep.
Yeah.
And then also too, since the last push that we did that I took like a 2 month break after, it was like 18 weeks, I got to like 274, 275. So we're kind of like recomping, but then he sent me my update today. He was like, "You're bigger and fuller and you weigh less. So let's keep running it."
Yeah.
So right now we worked our way up to 800 tests and 135 trend, 140 trend. Um, I
Are you
just
taking AIs or anything with that much test?
so I was doing 10 mgs Novadex, but he just told me today. Let me see what he said actually. He said
Are,
we're doing one or point one or something.
are you doing any like Masteron or DHTs or anything like that, or no?
No, just
Just test
higher
and trend?
test and
Yeah.
trend. So he's gonna do either a quarter mig 1 times a week of 8x or 12.5 mig of Robinson twice a week. Didn't notice a difference in is stupid bullshit pissing me off quicker than it normally would. But like I've never gotten trend cough and it's ace. I've never gotten night sweats, like nothing.
I mean, to
So
be honest too, like, 100, 150 milligrams
I
isn't
was low
like,
as shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, I was taking reverting back to like you not doing it the first time in prep. The first time I did it was last prep, and I started at 150 milligrams, and it wrecked me, bro. I couldn't deal
Yeah.
with it mentally. It was the mental, like just brain fog all day, every day, night sweats. Like,
Like I
we ended up
was
pulling it out, and I've learned with a couple people. Like, I'm not gonna say any names, but I had someone like pull out a prep last night, and their mental really started to go downhill when we added in trend. And like, food
how much was it?
focus, like 100 milligrams. Um, but it's just like some people are sensitive to it, and I'm
Yeah.
learning that like it's not necessary. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you have to have in during prep, like whatever." No, you don't at all. And it like responds really well to it. I've never taken him above 200 milligrams before. Um, but he just gets like at that point in prep is when he starts like the progress, just the hard, grainy, like, and I can tell, like, maybe I don't know if
Bro.
Parker can tell, but I can tell a good difference in his like just overall personality. Like, he just gets on edge a little bit more.
Well, yeah, for
But
sure. But like
yeah,
my training sessions, so Kenley sent me that update, and I told him I was like, I'm happy you think so, because for some reason, like while training, I'm like, holy shit, like I look big as fuck, pumped everywhere, like just swole everywhere. And then with my check-in photos, I'm like, this shit looks so mid.
yeah,
It's just such a mind fuck,
yeah, for
Like
sure.
being this big for so long when I was like normally had been lean. Like I really haven't pushed food or drugs like I have the past, I don't know, 8 months or something since
Mhm.
I was healthy enough after
Yeah,
the other pec tear.
for sure. Yeah. Well, I think I think I can speak for everyone when I say we are definitely fucking excited to see you get on stage.
I'm really excited, bro, because that's the thing is hopefully it's a package that will be commendable and not something that people are like, why is he even on there? Because I've understood that reality and I've taken the time and it's still like have half a year left, if not more, to grow before we enter prep. Like I know he told me specifically that this is more of like a recomp. Like we haven't upped food the past 4 weeks because I'm just
Mhm,
growing and getting leaner.
mhm,
But he said that we'll take like a slight break in like 4 or 5 weeks and then do like another pretty big push again. And then we'll
mhm.
hit a prep. So
Yeah,
like I'm just excited to see what I actually look like shredded on stage because
me too.
the most shredded I've gotten was like 9, 10 weeks out.
Yeah,
I was like 230 on the dot. So
you're pretty fucking peeled too then.
yeah, my ass had striations like first time ever. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But
Um,
should be fun.
so y'all wanna do some well, let's talk about like the podcast, I guess. And just like why we're starting this podcast, what are we doing with it?
For honestly,
Yeah, that.
the main reason why I think we all want to start this is to put the brand out there,
Mhm.
but get people to know us.
Yes.
Because there's only so much you can do through Instagram and TikTok and all this other shit. But having people
Yeah.
actually see us, our personalities,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is that I feel like even with a lot of clients that you work with, they don't see who you are unless you know them. Like we know who each other is and we know, the personality, but like people can like actually watch this and learn and listen and like, man, these guys are relatable, you know? And like not only does that help business, but it helps your following. It helps like, people be more like Chris Bump said, YouTube is like that's why everyone feels like before they don't know this dude from Adam and they feel like they know him. People get tattoos of him on them or on their body because
that's
they're
just
like,
crazy.
they can relate to him so much. And like, that's my biggest thing with this is like no filter, no, sure. It's to grow the brand, but also to grow to show our personalities because like we're all pretty decent at content, but like, we're
We're,
not good at content as far as, like, talking and, like, being
we're a
ourselves.
lot better at like adding value to
Yeah.
others through something
Yes.
like this.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Um, so, yeah, that's kinda the podcast, and,
To get into some bodybuilding, the
yeah,
number one question, Nick Walker or Derek Lunsford?
Derek Lunsford, bro, I don't even think that's a question.
Derek.
Damn. For real.
I mean, I do think
I will say
Nick has
though,
improved a lot.
yeah,
His
Nick
waist
has
is still
came a
good.
long way. Yes.
You think he's gonna get second or third?
Uh,
Or actually, fuck that. What show do you think he's gonna win?
he's doing Pittsburgh and New York, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll win New York. Who's doing New York with him?
Uh, I have to look it up, but I really want to see that
Is
Ken
Vito?
dude. Um, look up a list.
I will say
Don't
I could see Nick not even getting top 3 at Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be
How
honest
is
with you.
that?
I know the I know all like Martin is crazy.
I mean, he is.
His physique is wild,
But
and
like
you know what?
Nick also stood next to him at Nick's like fucking
Yeah,
worst.
that is
Granted,
very that is
Martin
very
has gotten bigger and like improved drastically, but like Nick's sorry, client started calling me. Nick's like dude, I mean his shots when he
yeah.
posts these, I'm like, bro.
My only worry is Kyle's never peaked him before.
Well, Nelson told me he wouldn't tell me Nick's weight because apparently he didn't want him to tell anybody. But from what the pictures are showing Nelson, he's like mind blown, and apparently it is like the amount of trend I'm on right now, if not like a little more.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, and dude, I wanna back up Matt Jansen here for a second. He does not push drugs the way like it's Nick does not like you and I have taken more drugs than Nick would take in a prep. Let me just put it that way. And I say
Bro,
that
I haven't
because
even taken shit.
yeah, my point. Like when people just got it, they got it. Like everyone's like, "Oh, he's taking a 500 milli." Of trend. Like that's never happened.
What's that? God, bro, I'm like
Talk to
blanking.
Matt Jansen.
But
He that's never happened.
there's this like function, something that Nick's missing that allows his muscles to never like just not have a cap to actually growing. And I forget what it fucking is.
It's basically what the SARM there's a SARM that inhibits um
Yeah,
um
I know. I fucking blanked on it.
oh my God, why am I having a brain fart? YK11 is the SARM and it inhibits I gotta I need to know this real quick, so just hold on.
Basically, like impedes muscle atrophy. Oh, myostatin.
Yes,
That's what it
myostatin.
is.
Yes. It's a
God,
myostatin inhibitor.
I was
Yeah.
like,
No, yeah, I knew that. I don't know why. But yeah, I could see that being the case.
because like
Is
he
that actually
just.
true? Is that confirmed?
I mean, that's what a lot of people
Yeah,
sometimes
speculate.
Nelson thinks and just like has told because he's like he never stops growing or improving, and he already is the mutant. Like
Yeah, for
he's
sure.
a freak.
But all right, boys. Well, we're coming up on an hour, so y'all think this would be good for our first one?
Yeah, bro, that was a tough podcast.
Oh, for
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a good
good start.
stopping point for every podcast that we ever
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
An hour, 50
yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
I think an hour is perfect.
I think I'm gonna drop these every Tuesday.
But we,
Yeah, I think we should plan on dropping
yeah,
them every Tuesday. We'll look into like the editing and everything like that. It's something we'll still figure out. So this week maybe a little pushback, but I'm a push to get it out by Tuesday.
Or
And then we'll make an
and
Instagram
yeah,
page for it and everything like that. And then
oh yeah, just put like all the links under
yep, yep. Um,
that way we can have people actually tell us what they want to hear and stuff too.
and
yeah,
drop questions so we can have more topics to cover, like the first half or second half of the show. Just answer shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this one up. We appreciate anyone who has watched and made it this far. Thanks for tuning in to our first episode of Beyond Limitless podcast. Just want to put this out there. If anyone is interested in, taking your physique, performance, whatever the case it may be, to the next level, whether you want to get shredded for summer, you want to step on stage, whatever the case may be, check out the links in the descriptions to learn more about our coaching services
Sure.
at Team Limitless Pursuit. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'll drop those links in the comments below as well. Um, and you can see our clients' transformations, daily content, everything like that. As far as the podcast goes, don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a review if you enjoyed the episode, and we will catch you next time on Beyond Limitless podcast.
Peace.
Peace.